I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but my ancestors have brought me this far, and I won't go back. I've been working too hard. No, I won't go back.
When I was in 11th grade, my English teacher, Miss White, said to our classroom, who obviously teenagers, emotionally driven at any given point to have, explosions in class or whatever, that's going on with teenagers. She said to the class, if, well, he's probably speaking about somebody specific, but just in general, as an English teacher, if you're upset about something, write it down. And some people said, well, I don't know how to, I don't know how to put it in words. I just know that I'm mad. And she's like, well, if you can't write it down, then you have no reason to be upset. And teenagers in the classroom, I was totally locked in because I love writing. Writing is like one of those hobbies that not everybody knows about that I usually tell when I'm in a setting where we're sharing like two truths and a lie or what have you. I absolutely enjoy writing, and I always have. It's always been a way for me to outwardly express what I was feeling, drawing, writing, coloring, all of those things as a child. And even into adulthood, there's, sometimes where you feel like you're just doodling and things like that. So the expression from pen to paper is very important. Also, in learning languages, it helps you to learn languages when you're able to write it out. It's just the connection that your brain has. And so, journaling and writing is something that I truly enjoy doing now. What came to me today was the fact that I was, reflecting on situations and experiences that I've had in the past to where I'm at right now, which is huge change, right? Even from like the beginning of this week, because what I've been trying to do in the like blog series that I have where I'm being in the vortex of what Hicks talks about and now following my highest passion of what Bashar talks about and really like who I am, where I am in all of this, because my journey is not going to be the same journey as, somebody else who may be more successful than me. And, both of our journeys are going to be different than somebody else who probably, has a perception of having less than me, or reality of having less than me. So, when I was realizing this, I also realized when I started getting into my spiritual journey that, and not that I was getting into my spiritual journey because we're always on this journey from birth and before that, right? But when I like officially became aware of what I'm doing here and what's going on just a little bit, I started to notice that through my writing and journaling, because I would go back and like read like what happened last year. I was in a cycle of, a program, um, a belief system that didn't align with me. And so well, it didn't align because I became aware and I became aware that's not what I wanted to do. And so I was then focused on these cycles and the cycle that I have at a like a smaller level of life. And then the cycles that expand out into my family. And then even more than that, the cycles that expand into my lineage and the community and the nation and the world and the universe. There, it just like over time, it just became like, oh, there's more here going on. And here I am, here in my little life, experiencing some of the effects of these cycles. And so I come to learn about different cultures and how they view life. And I've always been drawn to this as a child. And I've always questioned, like, why is it that we believe what it is that we believe, right? And being in the space that we're in life, you don't question what is, don't question what we have set for you. You just focus on this, but the focus on that wasn't in alignment with what I felt internally. So as a child, I was just like, I'm gonna just, put this to the side right now. You guys aren't getting it. I just gotta work through whatever you guys are providing to me. And I forgot for a long time and lived that life in the cycle, and then suddenly became aware that this isn't what life should be. And, again, I became aware again that this isn't what life should be. And I just started to investigate more and more and more. And it led me down this road of spirituality relating to my ancestors, understanding myself and my own individual energy signature. And in turn, with those two things, understanding my energy signature and ancestral wisdom, it brought me to the subject of biophilia. And I think I don't, did I get this from eco psychology? So biophilia is the innate connection that humans have to nature. And if we think about nature, nature goes through cycles as well. Everything that we are experiencing is some sort of cycle. There are cycles for the day, there's cycles for the days of the week, okay? There's cycles for the months, the years. We all go through cycles. And what is the biggest cycle that is affecting you at a smaller level, right? Something that, or, whatever, how something big that's affecting you, something small that's affecting the grander scheme of things. What are those things? And I think individually, once we come to a point where our focus is placed on something that is positive, progressive towards, the advancement of the world, not just technologically, but biophilically. And so it just, being in this space where we're in an understanding of there's no difference between each other, right? And then what we share here on the planet, go back to being stewards of the planets and things like that. So there's a lot of concepts that I want to talk about overall, and we'll get there bit by bit. But the first thing that came to me today to bring out into the world was cycles, because that was the first thing that I noticed in my journey as what is going on and how I can change things, how I can get out of the cycle that was placed upon me, or I have been conditioned to, or a cycle where my belief system was focused, this was the only way. Well, there's more ways. There's other ways. And if we become aware of our energy, our frequency, and our vibration, our purpose for being here in this school, this earth school, then we move into, the her story, our ancestral wisdom, and what all those things are, and start picking apart and unlearning and like reconstructing where we want to be along with the earth. Uh, because we are earth beings, like all of these things help us to move forward. And so this is to moving forward in life, not going back, but moving forward. All right. Have a good day.